If you're new to my channel, welcome. And if you've been here before, welcome back. Have you ever had a thought that was weirdly specific, and subsequently, a few seconds, minutes, hours, or days later, you saw a social media post that depicts your exact thought? Maybe it'll be the solution to a problem you had, or it'll be someone venting about how nobody is talking about this. This being the concept that only your brain supposedly thought of.
I find it crazy how quickly our social media discover what we are looking for. Honestly, sometimes I really wonder how they do that. Like, I learned the word Japandi today. Japandi is a decoration style that combines Japanese art style with Scandinavian design style and simplicity. So I learned this word today. And Instagram, Facebook have transformed their wall to offer a huge variety of product, like exactly the furniture I'm looking for, and this art style offered by a bunch of different stores. So I'm like, it's crazy. I just think or hear about something and my entire world transforms, shift to offer me exactly what I'm looking for. Honestly, this experience is mind-blowing for me. It feels like we are getting inside a science fiction movie or something.
And it makes me think, why does this happen? At times, this strange phenomena almost feels like deja vu or a feedback loop. Hearing strangers on the internet express an eccentric idea that I believed only I had is a strange feeling that can't really be replicated. It makes me feel small and insignificant in this vast world. Like I'm unremarkable and just another face in the crowd. And in the real world, we tend to surround ourselves with people who resemble us. Maybe they walk like us, maybe they talk like us, maybe they look like us, or maybe they even think like us. The main purpose of social media algorithms is to personalize the content that people see in their feeds. The algorithm analyzes user data, such as past interactions, interests, and the possible demographic that you belong to. The algorithm then uses this information to predict what content is going to be most engaging to you or any individual. This is done to keep users on the platform longer and facilitate targeted advertising based on your interests.
Please leave me alone. Leave me alone, please leave me alone. Leave me alone, please leave me alone.
So, to answer the question, social media is relatable because that's the whole point. Propaganda is the systematic dissemination of often biased or misleading information. The purpose is usually to influence public opinion. Propaganda in the modern world can look like psyops, misinformation, and purposefully spreading false narratives. But to no one's surprise, propaganda has a long history that goes all the way back to ancient rulers and religious institutions using symbols and narratives to influence populations. Its methods evolved significantly with creation of the printing press, but it became a powerful, state-sponsored tool in the 20th century, especially during World War I, when governments employed it to mobilize support and demonize enemies. This use intensified during World War II, with sophisticated campaigns utilized by all major powers. The Cold War cemented propaganda as a primary weapon in ideological conflict between superpowers. In the modern day, the internet and social media have revolutionized propaganda, allowing rapid, highly targeted, and often harder to verify messaging across global networks. It's almost as if everything that we believe is because somebody else told us to believe it. The short answer for this question is no. Although if you think about it long enough, the answer is yes. But I believe that the true answer is somewhat. In regard to the short answer being no, I believe that if you were to be in a casual conversation with somebody on the topic, they'd probably say no, and you'd probably agree. This seems like the quick and easy answer because how do we actually define what an original thought is? The definition of original is the earliest or first of something. The definition of thought is the act or process of pondering or considering something. And the definition of original thought is the process or result of thinking something that is genuinely new independent and not directly copied or heavily influenced. It involves forming unique concepts, perspectives, or solutions through one's own creativity and cognitive effort. Which on paper sounds good, but when you think about it, how will you know if you've had an original thought? Our unconscious mind is always taking in information, even as we sleep. Even if you think you've had an original thought, chances are that you had this thought due to external forces. You can't even imagine a color that you've never seen before. That's why, as you take the time to think about the question, I'm convinced that you'll believe that the long answer is yes, because you'll realize that if no one is having original thoughts, then doesn't that mean that we'll believe anything as long as the right person tells us at the right time? Without original thoughts, are we actually free from outside influence? And if you actually believe that you've had an original thought in your whole time on this earth, comment it down below. Although I believe that the true, proper, and correct answer to this question is somewhat, because it falls on a gray area or on a spectrum. I mean, think about it. Why would the lack of original thought be a good thing or a bad thing? What is good and what is bad? These are simply subjective terms that, when you truly think about it, are usually too extreme to define or explain what we actually consider is good or bad. And sometimes they're not even extreme enough to define what we believe is good or bad. Maybe it sounds like I'm getting too introspective or philosophical here, but stay with me. There's a method to the madness. So say that lack of original thought is a problem. Problems are meant to be fixed. And the only way to fix a problem like this is to understand that it can't be fixed. The Earth has been around for an extremely long time, with some scientists estimating that it's been around for over 4.5 billion years. It's not a surprise that every thought has probably already been thought, no matter how silly they may be. Not to sound dismissive or anything, but the best thing that we can do is stop caring. I mean, what are you gonna do? Take those lion's mane mushrooms? Eat blueberries? Throw on your thinking cap? And if the lack of original thought isn't a problem, then woohoo, hip hip hooray. But I'm still gonna stick with my aforementioned claim that the answer is somewhat. Because if we as the majority aren't able to think of new ideas, then wouldn't this indicate that the evolution of humanity is destined to stagnate? War, famine, propaganda. If you weren't up to date on your history, you'd probably think that all these occurrences only took place in the modern world. Now imagine what else you think is original, but has actually been around for so long. As stated before, originality is something that stands out because it is fresh, distinctive, and never seen before. How can anything be original when we're all sharing a similar experience as we journey through life? Sometimes we call things original or authentic, when in reality, they're the same idea, just used in a different situation. Technically, there's no right or wrong answer to any of the aforementioned questions, but I'd argue that nothing is completely original. The Earth has just been around for so long and inhabited by so many people. Not to contradict what I said before, but I believe that the only way to be original, figuratively, not literally, is to be a creator. Ideas can be made to feel original if you borrow unlike concepts to form a new idea. One of the best self-development books that I read was a small book called Steal Like an Artist by Austin Kleon. This book argues that true originality is a myth, and that all creative work is built on what came before. The book encourages aspiring artists and creatives to embrace this by stealing, not plagiarizing, but rather studying, imitating, and remixing the work of those that they admire. By doing so, you can transform these influences into something new and personal. Now, I don't want to steal Kleon's shine, so I linked the audiobook down below. It's about a 1-hour read or listen. and I really recommend it, especially for aspiring creators. It helped me a lot. These days, the main way that I come up with new ideas is to do my best to clear my mind. My best ideas come to me when I'm in deep and engaging conversations, praying, walking or running with no music, reading or watching movies and TV shows. And honestly, it's been a while since I've meditated, but this has also brought me towards new great ideas. You tend to find your best ideas after letting your mind wander. At the end of the day, we're all just a bunch of souls inhabiting various meat bags as we embark on a quest for meaning and search for a sense of purpose as we spend a short amount of time on this floating rock until we inevitably expire. With that being said, don't chase originality. Instead, become a creator. Why, you may ask? Because it's already within you. You were made in His image, and He created everything. And now, it's your turn. Thank you so much for watching till the end. Drop a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, comment down below what you think, and I hope to see you in the next video.